be with him, on him.
Don't touch the camera.
Then please.
Do not touch the camera. Mr. County Clerk.
Yeah.
Got some unconstitutional signs hanging up in here.
Oh, you can take that up with my lawyer. Sorry.
You want to take that up with the lawyers? That's the way you want to handle it?
I was going to call there was a person here with a camera, which clearly is probably you.
As you know, fam, we're all about those revisits, so let's go ahead and get into the revisit on their county policy that strictly prohibits the use of cameras, including cell phones. And you guessed it, our county clerk is still holding on to those unconstitutional, unenforceable signs. We're gonna prove it again today. Let's go at it. How you doing?
Good. We don't allow photographing of the books.
Yeah?
If there's anything you want copies of, we're more than happy to make them for you. We just charge a 65 cents.
No, I'm quite content taking pictures of them.
It's actually been a county policy. It's kind of posted throughout the office.
Right. Yeah, it says prohibited. What's it prohibited by? This old map. Yes. Getting this one for free. Devices is strictly prohibited. I'm just trying to figure out what, prohibited has. There's a meaning to that word, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what's prohibited by. But yeah, in the other room, I was taking pictures of those documents. Trying to turn myself in.
Listen, y'all, these kids want to act up in school, want to go to school and embarrass you, want to make like they got no home training. So I told my son, don't go to school embarrassing no more. I take care of you, son. I give you anything you want. I discipline you. But you're going to embarrass me like this? No, so now I'm going to cut his hair.
Oh, I'm going to have to ask you.
Hey,
do me a favor. Wait for the SWAT guys.
Now I saw you were in a restricted area. Now I want your identification.
You're not getting it.
Don't embarrass me. I told him, don't embarrass me. No.
We originally visited Oswego County Hall September 8th, 2023. That's when we first met the county clerk, Terry Wilbur. Terry Wilbur has unconstitutional signs hanging all over the clerk's office. We're going to go ahead and recap the clerk's office to compare to the new footage on the revisit. And if you haven't seen the full video, it is linked in the description. There's a lot more action in this building than just the clerk's office in the original video if you haven't seen it.
A couple living there, and then one day a U-Haul pulled up, and another couple and 3 kids got out, and the parents left. Jump on back. So they, so the first couple, guy with motorcycle in the bag.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay, this one needs to say assignment. And then they had another guy move in with 3 kids. So there's like 6 kids and 5 adults living in my house.
Gosh, yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, I know I see
Yeah, you got one, is that 16? You got one for that amount and then one for that amount.
I think that's what it was.
Let's see, and assigned to Joanne.
And
so that one's all set?
Yep.
All set with these?
Yep.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah.
So we definitely got some illegal signs down here. definitely got some unconstitutional signs here. We're gonna have to ask the clerk if we can get those down.
Okay, so yeah, you would have to come from
Mr. County Clerk,
Yeah.
got some unconstitutional signs hanging up in here.
Oh, you can take that up with my lawyer. Sorry.
You
So
want to take that up with the lawyers? That's the way you want to handle it?
I'm just put out the signs that are state CPLR for the copies that's what it says we
But
can charge.
yeah, I understand what it says you can charge, and if you read that statute, it actually says that you get charged to do the work. That doesn't mean that people can't take
I'm not
photographs.
going to get into that with you. So the county attorney's office is on the 4th floor.
All right, well, I'm going to take photographs of as many documents as I want. Is that going to be a problem? County clerk does not want to be held accountable here today. So, Erie County fam, let's pause for a quick second and go ahead and look at this law that Terry just quoted, 8019, the county clerk's general rules. We'll scroll through it here. You can go ahead and pause it if you want to read the whole thing. Let's go ahead and get it down to the bottom here so we can see what the fees actually are. Most of this here is regulations for different counties, also different abilities for them not to charge courts or state municipalities. So Erie County fam, if you go ahead and look at number 1 on this thing, what does it say? To prepare a copy. Looking at number 2, what does it say? To certify a prepared copy. Looking at number 3, what does it say? To prepare and certify a copy. Looking at number 4, what does it say? To prepare and certify a copy once again. And Erie County fam, what does number 5 say? To prepare a copy. So in all 5 categories where they can charge for copies or certifying, it all comes down to the word to prepare. That is an action. That is what they get paid for. They don't get paid for the records themselves. They are public records. Also, Erie County fam, if you read that whole thing, take note. Nowhere in this law does it say that we are not allowed to take a photo, that we are not allowed to photograph our own documents. They are public records. They belong to the public. So let's be clear, that is the statute, that is the county statute that allows them to charge for doing the work. They seem to misinterpret that law and think that they can prohibit someone from taking photographs in a public place. They are incorrect. And I've taken many signs down and challenged it everywhere, and they will find that I am correct and they are wrong. So I went ahead and challenged it and made sure they weren't going to say nothing. They did not violate my civil rights by enforcing this no photograph policy, but the signs are still up, fam. They need to come down. They definitely have the signs up.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Just like you've been doing.
Yeah, yes. I'll leave them
Not
up.
willing to take the signs down.
Whatever cops you make of them.
You guys have any private companies that work here or rent space that do what do you call, like process serving or deeds?
not sure.
What's that?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I think you'd know if somebody worked here every day, had an office. Are you guys county employees or do you work for a private company? Excuse me, ma'am. I was just asking a question if these are county employees or do they work for the private company?
They're not going to answer any questions.
I'm asking you though.
Yep, I'm not answering any either.
Whew, rude employees down here. These people work for the public. They got people's, hopefully saying people's personal information, private information out for the public to see on the counters up here. They got these signs everywhere. Prohibited by what?
So you got a ladder.
recording? Third. Right at this.
What can I do for you?
Do you want them? No, maybe.
So that's they say it's the attorney, but it's the county clerk's signature on all the forms.
You looking for me?
Yeah, it was. Listen.
Sorry, I'm trying to run an operation.
Yeah, no, I got it. I just was gonna ask you to take those signs down, the ones that say it's prohibited.
Well, those have been
because
up
I know that
since
you
two
said
predecessors
you said that
before
the county attorney, but that's your name and signature on that policy. I want to point out.
Those have been up since two of my predecessors before. We just reaffirmed what they had. So thanks for bringing it up to my attention. I'll look into it though.
Are you not willing to take them down today?
Not without looking into it. I mean, they've been past precedent for like 2 county clerks. So I got to look into it before I take that down. But
just explain it to you. It's pretty simple that, you know, if the public is allowed there, they have the constitutional right to freedom of the press. So if the public is allowed to open that book up, they can take a photo.
Open the book, yeah.
Yeah, so if they can take a photo then.
Well, there are some statutes, but I don't have them with me right now.
In the law, I'm very familiar with the law. And the law that you're quoting on there is actually a law that says when you do the work, you get paid to do the work. But if somebody else took a photo, there's nothing in that law that prevents somebody from taking photos.
I definitely
in public.
appreciate your input on it. I will show you my operation out here of what we have in the public space. Other than that, I will look into it further. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, I took lots of photos of the documents there, and nobody really, stopped me. But I think it would be bringing the office up to the constitutional standards to take the signs down.
Okay.
And you're not willing to do that today?
I will look into it and make a decision after I've looked into it further then.
All right.
Thank you for bringing that up to my attention.
2 years later, what do you think? Did the county clerk look into it? Oh, that's right. Terry called the cops on me last time for taking photographs in public. Speaking of which, I do believe I have that body camera footage for you guys. This is the body camera footage of the Oswego police officer from the town of Oswego who came to the scene to check out a suspicious man filming. I'd like to just point out the bottom of the report from the police. He said, no offenses committed, twice in this report, meaning that county policy was not a broken law or offense.
First client ID comes back negative WTST DND information if needed. Copy. Next one is 206-672-059. 206-672-059.
How we doing? What's going on today, bud? You just hanging out? Are you too old for stickers?
Oh, you want a sticker?
What do you think?
Thank you.
You changed your mind? All right, hold on just a second. I'll be right back. Yes, sir. All right, thank you. How we doing, sir?
All right.
Everything all set?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
The county attorney when he said he's in a meeting.
You what?
I was just trying to speak to the county manager, or not manager, but clerk.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So you're all set?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your name?
My name is Dan.
Dan? Tom Wilbur, nice to meet you. What's your last name, Dan?
I don't get on the last name.
You don't? Okay. Have a great day.
Were you called here for the meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Were some big photos in public?
I don't know. I have to find my complainant, so. I just got a call. There was a person here with a camera, which clearly is probably you. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. How we doing?
Good.
You guys all set?
I don't know. Chair's available.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to run an operation.
Yeah, no, I got it. I just was gonna ask.
Hello. Are you guys all set?
Those have been
I know that since you said
They said they were all set downstairs, so.
those have been.
We don't have a choice.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Somebody called
So thanks for bringing it up to my attention.
We didn't.
Shannon
Not without looking into it.
Calvaries or Calvaries.
Copy.
Okay.
Oh, they can open them, yeah.
Yeah, so they can take a photo.
Well, there are some statutes, but I don't have them with me right
In the
now.
law, I'm very familiar with the law. In the law that you're quoting on that,
could have been another floor.
That's possible. That's fine.
When you do the work, you get the,
Okay.
you get paid to do the work. But if somebody else took the photo, there's nothing in that law that
Well,
prevents somebody from taking photos.
I definitely appreciate your input on it. I will show you my operation out here of what we have in the public space. Other than that, I will look into it further. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, I took lots of photos of the documents there, and then you can
all your information is
stop
still
and,
the same, your address, your phone number, don't know Bella's.
bring the law for something constitutional standards, just take the sign file.
Well, I will,
I will do it
Go to 6077 status.
make a decision after I've looked into it.
All that, IMAX LCD on scene. Copy.
You good? Okay. All right. As long as everybody's good. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Listen, are you all set over here? Yeah. You got candy too?
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
Do you want a piece of candy?
well, here's the deal. I would eat a piece of candy, except for the fact, no, listen, I can't take one because someday you will see me at Walmart with my wife and you will tell her that I had candy and not a salad. And I'll probably end up in big trouble. So I don't want to be in big trouble. So. And of course it's on camera, right? So no thank you to the candy. I'm going to have a salad. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
And one last thing, you got a badge number?
I do. 6060.
6060?
Yep. So you got my name, badge number. You're good?
Sorry.
Yep.
Good to go?
Have a great day.
Now let's go ahead and get that revisit on the clerk's office. But before we do, this is a piece of clip from someone who went to the clerk's office and tried to take a picture of their own deed and they wouldn't even let her.
You don't have to print the whole document. You can, when you specify, you can specify the pages you want. It's up to you.
Okay.
So start to get back and forth inside the document. You click on these arrows.
And this is just my deed,
This
right?
is your deed.
Okay. And it's 65 cents a copy if I print it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I can't take a picture, right?
No.
Okay. And not even if I like, none at all. None.
No.
Okay.
That's right, fam. The public documents open to the public. You can't take a photograph. BS. Down here today in the county of Oswego legislative office and county clerk's office, this is a bit of a revisit. Last time we were in here, the county clerk wouldn't remove the signs that said no photos inside the clerk's office, which they couldn't get enforced when they called the police. And we're going to go ahead and get in here and ask him why he's still got them signs up, I guess. And make sure everybody respects our rights in here as well, still. But of course, we're right here by Lake Erie. Or actually, it was Lake Ontario, on the edge of Lake Ontario here. Right over there. So let's go ahead and get a look on the map where we're at quick. Alright, let's get in there. Make some electronic copies, I guess.
They're here. Yeah, but they're not gonna live here. No, they're only here for a couple of months for this summer.
No, I was down here, check out some documents, grab some pictures of them.
I think he's just got a hold of me the other day and said, hey, John, I'm gonna retire. And I was up here with work, and I said, not that I know of, but I haven't seen him in probably a year. And he said, oh, well, his sign was gone from in front of his house, and it didn't look like anything on the truck. And I was going to answer back, well, I'm assuming you're home after you've seen his house and truck, and I didn't get a chance because...
So causing trouble out here? Well, I talked to Brian, and he didn't, and this has been like a month or so ago, he didn't say anything about him retiring.
I don't know.
But then again, I haven't seen him here for a while, so...
Yeah, I was going to say I haven't seen it because he came over, he had Melvin invoice to their office and just came in and paid it instead of sending the check in. But that was long time ago. But Ryan, no. They might be at the campgrounds out in on 104. They stayed there after they sold their house.
Get the whole document for free.
Actually left Oswego.
Down here.
So I don't know. But his mom's house is big enough for the four of them. Good. Cats? Yeah. The two older ones, and I hope that the older ones will go with us, is staying with his mom.
Make my own copies here.
Not for the two older ones, because they figured they wouldn't.
Scan that right in for free.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so he was cheap. Their youngest cat and my cat are sisters. And yeah, Grace was one she would not try. So I'm glad their cat does. And she loves to come outside all the time. When the door's open, she'll come right outside, but if I put her harness and leash on and
She flags it. That's the way you
she'll lay on the porch like she's dying.
Uh-huh. They just kind of...
Yeah, she won't get up and walk. Okay.
Well, I was looking to,
But they have...
Get me some free public records today.
With a stroller and push my cat
Scan
around the
them right
neighborhood.
in.
But I actually just wanted to bring her out on the porch and let her sit in it where she can't get away, but she's not out with the harness.
Look at this one. 65 cents a copy.
And it's all
Silly.
screened in, you bring them out and you put them in there and they can climb and whatever, it's all screened in. Yeah, he won't fall that, I'm sure. He doesn't have to do anything with it.
How you doing?
Good. We don't allow photographing of the books.
Yeah?
If there's anything you want copies of, we're more than happy to make them for you. We just charge a 65 cents.
No, I'm quite content taking pictures of them.
It's actually been a county policy. It's kind of posted throughout the office.
Right. Yeah. It says prohibited. What's it prohibited by?
We're allowed by CPLR to charge fees for duplication of the records.
So what would stop me from taking the books out and taking pictures of it? What's it prohibited by, I'm asking?
That's the policy of the office is to...
So it's prohibited by a policy that you guys are required to follow, but not me.
Yeah. So because we're allowed to charge for duplication of the records, that's something that we do.
So I'm going to continue taking pictures of documents because it's not prohibited by anything but your policy and your wishes and your dreams, and it's not happening.
Okay.
I've asked for these signs to come down before, and are you the new county clerk?
Nope.
There's a county clerk here.
He's not. So just making you aware of the policy. And
I'm just making you aware your policy is impossible to enforce.
Okay. No problem. Thank you.
And anybody that wants to take pictures of the documents down here is more than welcome to, because these are open by law to the people. So you can't prohibit anybody from taking pictures in this office. And across the state, every county office across the state is taking theirs down, except for this one for some reason. So it's my policy to get these public records for free. The audacity for him to call me and tell me that we can't exercise our First Amendment rights here. I think I need some. What we've got in here. I think we'll get this map on the end here. I'm gonna get this picture here and pull this out and get this map for free. Get that one there. It's double-sided, I think. We're gonna get this side too. It's getting tough to see because the plastic's on there, but as you can see, we'll get that one for free. I got pictures of maps. You know whose records these are? These are our records. They belong to the public by officer's law. The law that allows them to charge per copy is the same one that allows us to come see these by law. They have to be open. They can't restrict them with access. Mortgages. Let's check it out. Getting these mortgages for free today. That's 65 cents there I saved, 65 cents there I saved. I'm saving so much money. Look at this one. I like to look at that book. Let's get a look in that one. So this old map.
The whole thing with that notice of lending.
Yes.
Getting this one for free.
There's a certain time frame. I want to say 5 years, but it might be 3 years.
This one needs some repair.
It's from 17.
It's pretty rough.
A building loan agreement, usually there's some kind of date in it.
Do we have to? Because there was one of those on that same one.
I'll check when I see
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
When I
just-
see that, yeah.
Just run it, just
'Cause
check it.
I don't remember if we just note it, or if it's older.
And that one. Ooh, look at this.
Because an LP is over so much, like 5 years.
Look at how good I can blow up and get all these little ones for free. Look at that.
If it's 5 years, 8 years, 35 years.
Tom Boylston. These are all hand drawn on this paper, man. The handwriting.
Between now and August, I don't plan on these. But if you do just put them on
Oh yeah.
the stand. Chris is talking when right, but she doesn't get it.
There's some of the records up here we get for free too. So other people's records right on the counter. There's people's personal information and phone numbers right up here on the counter for everybody to see. Violation for sure. Ooh, yes, I like these. I'll definitely take me one of these. Everybody's emails, man, those are nice. Yeah, so that's the record room. You can come down here and get them for free. Their rules or policies are bogus. This is one of the only county buildings left in the state that still have this little policy, but
Can I help you with something?
no, I mean maybe. This signs here say that recording in records rooms and recording of fees are prohibited. I'm just trying to figure out what they're prohibited by.
It's probably a question for not me, probably like
The attorneys.
I don't know. You asked if you could help me. That's I guess my question is what, like, because I'm really recording now and it says it's prohibited, so I'm just trying to figure out like what happens now because it's prohibited and I'm doing it.
You want to file something and not pay for it to be filed.
No, I just want to take pictures down here and it says it's strictly prohibited. I was just trying to figure out what is strictly prohibited by and what the next step is, like, to stop me.
I don't have the next step, but I can go get my boss.
Is the county clerk here today?
I'm not sure. He was. He may have gone to the motor vehicle. Let me.
Yeah, I would love to speak to the actual clerk because I'm sure he's responsible for these signs and not you guys. But it still says on this office wall that it's prohibited, and here I am doing it. I'm just trying to figure out if that's a law, enforceable or not. Man, look at that pile of staples you pulled out over here, huh?
Yeah.
Are those all staples?
Yeah.
Is that what I see? Is it still growing, this thing?
I throw some in there sometimes just because, but
How long has that been growing?
probably since before I was born.
Yeah. do they still, well, obviously where those come from still come stapled? Do you guys got to rip them out that often, or is that
Sometimes.
more
Other stuff is,
digitized?
Like, online, so.
It's a trick question anyways. It's not prohibited by anything.
It's fine. I just let you know what the policy was. You can.
We know the policy,
Yeah.
but I'd like to really talk to obviously the clerk, because I've talked to him in the past about this, and it's a violation of his oath of office. I mean, they have these signs up that
not in right now.
contradict his oath. So I come down here and I was joking. I really was joking because filming in this office has been prohibited by anything other than your guys' hopes, wishes, and dreams. But I've asked for these signs to come down. It seems like there's more up since I left last time, but apparently he needs more redress from the people to understand that he works for the people, and so obviously he's not coming back today, or he's down at the DMV, or
I don't know. He's not in the office right now, so.
Gotcha. What's his name?
Terry Wilbur.
All right, same guy, yeah.
Yeah. So, but.
All right. It's kind of silly that they have those signs telling me I can't take pictures, but I can. It's silly. So they're still hanging on to their photograph is prohibited signs, which they can't enforce. We have forced that they can't enforce it last time and did it again today. But yeah. I mean, the only other help I need is to figure out what that filming is prohibited by in them offices, but nobody can.
Help you.
Yeah, they can't tell me what it's prohibited by.
Okay. You can go ask the attorney.
That's a good question. I think he ducked me last time I was here.
The attorney, he's on the fourth bar. You could try.
Thanks.
Yep.
I have a question for the county attorney.
He's actually down the hall.
Oh, is he the one that's sitting in the conference room over there by himself?
I'm not sure where he
What
went.
shirt?
Do you have a number?
No, I don't have a question. I just had a question about the clerk's office and the signs that they got hanging.
I can take a message.
I think I left a message before. He never called me back, so I was hoping to catch him.
No, he's not in. I don't know. He just went down the hall. Do you want me? You don't want to take a message? Or?
No, sorry. I didn't call back last time. I thought I'll call back this time.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yep. Sorry.
How you doing? Are you the county attorney?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a few questions?
What?
The clerk's office has some signs up that say filming is prohibited. I'm taking pictures of the documents. It says they're prohibited. I'm trying to figure out what's prohibited by.
Oh, you didn't ask the clerk.
Because
I don't know what the signs say.
unconstitutional signs hanging up in here.
Oh, you can take that up with my lawyer. Sorry.
You want to take that up with the lawyers? That's the way you want to handle it? That's what you call the runaround. The county clerk says take it up with the attorney, and the attorney says take it up with the county clerk.
So, talk to them about it. Researching something right
Well, I've exhibited this problem about a year ago where I stopped here before to check it out. I even left a message with your office trying to figure out what they're prohibited because he's holding on to these signs and there's really nothing. It's actually constitutionally protected. And the documents down there by law have to be open to the public during business, right? So if the public's allowed there, so is the press, they're allowed to take photographs there. So they got these signs up and I'm just trying to figure it out and get some answers where I'm getting the runaround and you're the county attorney, so.
Well, the clerk is the elected official that runs that office.
Right.
I'll talk to him. Thank you for bringing it to my attention.
Yeah, I appreciate if you do something because, like, I've been across the whole state. I've been to over 60 counties. I've seen a lot of these signs up, and 99.9% of them give up the signs when I bring it to their attention. But this guy seems to want to hold on to them. Maybe you can let them know. Obviously, I was just down there taking some pictures of the documents now, and they told me I couldn't. I just kept going, asking them, like, I'm doing it anyways. They can't enforce it, so why have the signs up? You know?
Okay. Well, I'll talk to the clerk about it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Leave your comment in the comment section if you think he's going to do anything about it or even look into it, folks.
Hi, can I help you?
Yeah, maybe to speak to someone in charge, highest level that we have here available today. I don't know.
The county administrator is out at a conference today.
Out at a conference. There's nobody else there?
There's myself, I'm the admin secretary, and the budget officer for the county.
All right, I guess I was just concerned about the signs that I've asked them to take down in the clerk's office about prohibiting photography in the electronic devices in the records room, which is constitutionally protected for people to take those pictures and not enforceable. I've asked them to take the signs down a year or so ago. And with no avail, he still got them up. And I walked in there now, and they're still trying to tell me I can't take pictures of the document, which is protected activity. And by law, those documents have to be open to the public. So I'm trying to get to the bottom of why he would keep doing that. And like, obviously, I talked to him. He has no intention of taking them down. So maybe some other people at the level be like, hey, this is a bad look for the county.
Okay.
And talk to him like that. That's all.
I mean, I can certainly take your name and number and have the administrator return.
Yeah, I think I spoke to him last time I was here. He gave me a tour in his office and that.
Okay.
But
if you would like.
No, that's all right now. I'll shoot him an email. I have.
That's the air conditioner.
Thought we were about to get hit by a plane landing on the building.
Air conditioner.
Oh man, you got me on that one. But all right.
Yes.
You sure the county executive didn't just land on his private jet on the ceiling? All right, yeah, I'll contact him and follow up with the clerk when he's back in.
Sounds good. Thank you.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Who would be the head of this office here?
Be the director.
Is she available for a few questions?
What can I do for you?
I have a few questions about assessments as far as if there was talk. This is kind of more, let's your opinion on things.
Okay.
If the counties took on assessment roles, because there's some talk of that, it's always been talk of it over the years of the county taking over the assessment roles to make revals happen every 5 years, more regularly than that, and take it away from the towns. We're just getting your opinion on what do you think about that idea?
So my personal opinion is that I don't think it's a cost-saving measure for the county to take on being the assessing unit. I think that it could be something that would be more efficient maybe, but I think what is probably the better solution is for municipalities to do what's known as coordinated assessment. So there's things that are called coordinated assessment programs, CAPS is what I think they call them at the state. And those are more of just assessing units compromising on like how they're going to do assessments going forward and having a single assessor, but also a single like vision for when they're going to have their revals and how their assessment roles are going to look and all of that sort of thing. I think that is the better solution than county taking over, but I mean, there's only two counties in the state that do it, right? Tompkins and Tompkins I think is the only county.
Yeah, I thought there was. I knew there was one. I didn't know there was another.
Yeah, I think it's only Tompkins.
I know Erie County. That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
Spokes talked about it, and I like the idea. I think they would be great for a legislative law.
Yeah.
That mandates, revals every 5 or 6 years. Period.
Yeah, and New York's one of the only ones that don't do it.
That would take the strain off of the political nightmare, as they call it, for all these town supervisors. And that would be the idea of why the counties want to take over. But like, I don't know, this office seems pretty approachable, but you go to like some of these big counties, like in Syracuse or in Buffalo, where Erie County, you walk in there and you get stone walled and you can't get into the offices, you can't see nobody. So like, I like it on the personal level at the towns, but some of these towns, like I got a town in my county, it's at 2.7% equalization rate. Hasn't done a reval in 60 years, and that's nuts.
And how can you have equity when they do that?
Right, and the people all think it's a bad thing, a reval, but they don't realize that it's the smaller income houses, the under 100,000, around 100,000 that sell so often. They're taking all the tax burden for the houses that never sold, and they don't get it. But
well, my opinion on that too is how can you possibly know if you're being fairly assessed when there's that much of a discrepancy between market value and assessed value.
Anybody challenging their taxes, anybody challenging a bar has quite a leverage when they go in there. All they need is pretty much an appraisal.
Yeah, I mean, you look at your market value and it says it's whatever number, and then your assessed value is what, $1,200 or something. And how are you gonna know if you're fairly assessed when it's that big of a gap? When it's been so long since you've done.
How long you been working down here at the county?
I've been in this office 10 years. I've been director for going on 4.
All right. Yeah, that was my question. If you know if Oswego ever taken up the idea of taking over the assessments here, or that was never really. I know a few counties talked about it. Obviously,
I mean,
Thompson's
it's something that I brought up as a concern. There's a lot of.
Do you watch the towns individually when their equalization rates get low? Start giving them a call and be like, "Yo, what's going on?"
I've encouraged assessments. I encouraged like the city of Oswego in doing their reassessment, the city of Fulton in doing their reassessment. The biggest hurdle with reassessments has always been
the cost.
Well, it's the cost, but it's also the public outreach.
Right.
You have to have a good message to people, because the second they see assessments going up, they see their taxes going up, and it's not creating a new tax base. It's just reapportioning out. So everyone's paying their fair share.
Well, yeah, the tax rate doesn't change for the how much the city or the town can collect when they equal them out. All those people who've been skipping through all the paying their fair share, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I know. It's just if all the assessments go up and the budget stays the same, then the tax rate will go down, and everyone just. I mean, it's about equity and it's about fairness. It's not about. It's really not about anything else than that. If someone had a complaint about their assessment process in the county here, would they come see you to talk to you about that, or would they go to a state-based? They can try coming to me, and I'll try and help.
Don't bunch have much authority.
But I don't have any real power over the assessors. We're
there's
an agency.
There's really not much oversight in the assessment department, is there?
Well, because the towns are the assessing unit. They hire the assessors, they appoint them, they oversee all of those things, and then here at the county we just use the values they come up with when we do taxes. So we can assist them, we can nudge them, we can encourage them, we can try to put pressure on them, but we at the end of the day it's up to them to do.
Is the director position here, is that a appointed position? Mm-hmm. And is you're just here, or is that a term based?
County directors across New York State.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
But, all right, thanks. That's all the questions I had. I appreciate you.
Not a problem.
Yeah, it's all for educational purposes, because a lot of people don't understand the process. So I've been going around trying to do a little education on that to help people nudge them into the stigma of revals. You know?
It's always a tricky subject, and I've learned that. Like I said, it's been about 10 years I've been here, and I've seen multiple revals happen, and it's the same story every time.
Yeah, I think there's one by. I think maybe it was in Rochester, Gorham. I think it was. No, it wasn't Gorham. I can't remember the name of the town, but they started. Oh, it was Brighton, New York. They started one. The person who did it messed it all up, diced it all up. They paid all that money, and then they scrapped it in the middle of it. And man, you want to talk about wasted money? Mm-hmm. $500,000 just, and you can't use that records next year because it's all changed.
Yeah. Yeah, and once after you just said it. After you do it, you've got to maintain it.
Right, like Fulton didn't maintain. Was it New Haven that did one, or no, Hastings? It was Hastings that did one, and they didn't maintain either.
Yeah. Well, and there's a case to be made that if you don't keep it at, because the idea with a reval, you want to get it from whatever its assessed value is up to market value, so that you're at 100% assessed value equals market value, right? That's the goal of a reval. And then even if the equalization rate drops even the next year, that equity that was created where people were paying their fair share still is maintained, but that doesn't last more than a few years.
Right.
Eventually things will shift, because when prices go up, when houses start selling for more, it's not all the entire town. It's in certain areas, it's certain types of homes. Is
the state still giving rebates back, or somebody said they are, but it's first come first serve.
Yeah, that's how it's been for a long time.
That's the way it is. They run out of funds and that's it. Whoever gets the funds
first. They will allocate some money to assist with. I think when you do full revals, like what the city just recently did, there's funding available for that. But I know we have a town that does cyclical reassessments every year and hasn't seen any money from that.
Yeah,
right.
It's from the same pool of money.
Yeah,
and there's a hierarchy of who gets the money, and it's people doing full reevaluations. They're first grab at money.
Yeah, they're looking at the people that are going from like the 2.5% trying to get up to 100.
Just a thought, but has anybody from the Office of Real Property thought about going to the high schools and start talking to some of these teachers about the shortage that there's going to be in a year or two for assessors? Like,
Actually,
because
yeah.
somebody needs to start getting on that, because a lot of kids, they don't know where to go. Some of these math wizards need to get themselves in this office, because it looks like there's going to be quite a shortage of assessors coming up.
Yeah,
and that's only going to push it on the state.
Yeah, that's actually something that the state works on. There's a training advisory group committee that I'm on that we work with the state and the Assessors Association, trying to come up with solutions for how to get young people interested in this type of a career, because it's something that you don't know about.
Right, and most people are like, oh, I'm going to grow up to be an assessor. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, no,
everybody
knows
curse.
what that is.
Everybody, all the parents are they're cursing out the assessor once a year.
Exactly,
I don't want to be that guy.
So yeah, I think that's.
What made you guys get into this field?
I think we have the same story.
So yeah, it was.
Parents are realtors, or
I actually managed a GameStop before I was in here, and then I wanted to stop working on every weekend. Like, my brother settled down, got a family, I had nieces, like holidays started to matter, so I like went for an office job generically and did like the typist test.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also interested in like real property in general, like the entire field of it. So like real estate, abstracting, all of it. Like, I shadowed an abstractor for a little while. I took like an abstracting class. It was done by like Title 101 by the ALTA. And this was the first office that called me. I really liked it. They had like a plan of like, you're gonna start as a typist, you're gonna move here, you're gonna go to there. And it was the only place I ended up interviewing where they had a plan for the new person to like get past minimum wage. So I was like, well, this is the only option.
Yeah,
So-
similar story here. Yeah, that was my whole thing. I worked in food service. I wanted to get into an office job. Started as a typist here, and then the more I learned about all of this stuff, the more fascinating it became to me. I mean, I'm more interested personally in the mapping side of things, like the GIS, geographic stuff. I've always been more interested in that, but learning how that relates into the assessment process and taxation and everything like that, and just moving up the ranks in the office, just learning more about it and interacting with more people. That's been my big thing. Is there's a definite gap in what the general public understands about this and what.
Yeah. Well, it's just confusing on top of it, and it's almost like it's designed to be confusing, and like the way they take, like, somebody will look at it and be like, oh, well, they think my house is worth $100,000 and they're only taxing me on $100,000. It's like, no, that's a percentage of what you're looking at. It's almost like they design it that way, and just right off the bat, it's just confusing.
Yeah. So.
Still, trying to explain the equalization rate to somebody is a tough job.
It's tough even for me.
Like knowing a little bit about it, it's just tough to explain it to someone who's willing to grasp it. It'd take a few times to understand it.
Yeah,
but,
it's rough trying to explain it.
One last question.
Yeah.
As a part of any assessors, boards, or stuff like that, did you hear anything about First Amendment auditing?
First Amendment auditing?
Yeah, auditing coming to like bars and stuff like that.
Not that I've heard of. I've heard of the First Amendment audits.
Yeah. Last year we went to a bunch of bars, and recorded bar. And just to expose like how,
how'd it go?
Oh my God! Let's just say we got 3 chair people fired.
Wow.
And it just shows that there's no oversight. Like one town there in Erie County, they changed their bar without telling anybody to the 20th, which is before the law even allows it. Didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And the only way you can move it is by making a town ordinance and law to move it, which they already did. They moved it to June 2nd, I think it was.
It's any time between 4th Tuesday in May and
so like they moved it. They moved it, and we're like, well, what's going on? And they're like, oh, so he called the real property office, like, yeah, you can't do that. And then it's just like, oh, nobody complained last year. It's like, oh, you broke the law last year too. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I don't know.
yeah, it's just the shortage of assessors is what I'm seeing across.
So a lot of towns are used to moving bar because the assessor has to be there, and assessors are in 4 or 5 towns because they're short.
Yeah, and it's also the only way for them to make a living sometimes, because a town's only willing to pay an assessor.
Right.
They consider them part-time, so they're only going to pay them part-time wages. So they got to pick up multiple towns.
Are you guys all full time in this office?
We're all full-time here, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the time and all the information.
Of course.
Nice seeing you guys.
Yeah. Thank you for stopping in. Yeah, take care.
How you doing?
Good.
You deputy?
Yes.
There's some signs up in the clerk's office that say taking pictures of the documents is strictly prohibited.
I have no knowledge of that.
Well, no, I'm saying the signs are up there. I want to report that I was doing it.
Oh.
I was taking pictures of the sign or the documents that said that it's strictly prohibited.
Yeah, probably the lady that's the clerk of the legislature. I think she pretty much runs our being in this building, so she'd probably be the one to report that too.
You want to check into see if it's a crime?
I don't think it's a crime.
I don't think so. I don't think so either. I think it's constitutionally protected, but I'm just trying to figure out what's strictly prohibited. You know what I mean? Like when a sign on a wall in a county building, the county people have some authority. It says strictly prohibited from taking those pictures. I'm up there taking those pictures.
Who do you work for?
Me, I really can't say because civil rights investigation.
Okay.
And like obviously, if the people are allowed in there, so is the press, because the people in the press are the ones. So it says it's strictly prohibited. So I was trying to turn myself in and see if you do something about it.
Well,
we all know it's not illegal. So
the next building over, yes, it is. As far as
in the courthouse, they got laws about filming in the courtroom and the hallways thereof.
We can go up and talk with her.
I don't think the clerk's here, the actual elected clerk.
No, she'd be the clerk of the legislature. I saw her here earlier.
I mean, we can. I mean, I think the clerk is the one that he's elected clerk. He's in charge of the office. I don't think the other legislators can tell him what to do in that office.
I'm just saying who manages our security of the building. Mm-hmm. She's the go-to person that we go to.
Oh yeah, I don't think we need to talk to her. I don't even know if she's up there. I was just up there trying to talk to some people about it myself, and most of them.
Show me what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I pretty much sit there all day long telling people.
Right. Look at your little exercise. There's one right here. They got them everywhere.
Oh, here we go. Here's something. For too many years.
This is here. Therefore, a policy of Oswego County is that the personal use of electronic devices, captured devices, is strictly prohibited. I'm just trying to figure out what prohibited is. There's a meaning to that word, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what's prohibited by.
He's the county clerk.
Right. Yeah. He's not. Terry's not here.
Floor.
But yeah, in the other room, I was taking pictures of those documents, trying to turn myself in. So what this is, this public records law, that's the public records law. What you're looking at, what that actually is for educational purposes is it allows them to charge copies to make copies.
Yeah.
But if you read the law says they get to charge X amount for producing work, like producing the copy. It's not the actual copy, but the reason those laws are there is so that if somebody had to get court records and they were fighting like a court battle against like the county, and they went to go fight that court battle, and the county said, all right, well, those public records are $20,000 that you need to fight us. You know what I mean? So it's a ceiling so that they can't. Yeah. So that's what they're there for. Nowhere in this law does it say that they can prohibit. It actually says in this law, if you look it up, that the county records have to be open to the public by law during open business hours. I mean, if they're open to the public, we can go in and take a picture. So what they're doing is they're getting greedy. They want that money. But by law, it's supposed to be open.
What are you attempting to do?
I mean, I just want to demonstrate that those signs are worthless. I've asked them to take them down a year ago, and then the county clerk was like...
So they're familiar with you?
Yeah, they kind of know. But like, to me, it's like I'm over here for video purposes saying, yeah, it says it's strictly prohibited, so I'm turning myself in. I did it, and I might go do it again, officer. You know what I mean? And they know there's no law, but like, why keep them up, you know? If you can't stop people from doing what they say is strictly prohibited, it's kind of like... It'd be like you tell somebody it's strictly prohibited so much, and then they find out you're lying, and then you start doing it, and then what is your word worth, you know?
Yeah.
The image, but no, I was just honestly kind of tugging your chain about it, because it's obviously not prohibited by anything. It's protected activity, but as far as who's going to take it down, the only person in charge of that, I think the only person that can take that sign down is the clerk, and he don't seem to want to, yeah. So I don't think I talked to him last time. They gave me a tour of the building last time I was here. They called the cops on me last time I was here for taking pictures of the documents too, but they came and left.
Didn't talk to you?
Oswego, they came, say a few things and left. The city police, I think it was. But yeah, I'm out of here. Obviously, he's not here to speak to him today, but I just want to make a point that I can turn myself in to the police for taking those strictly prohibited pictures, and nothing's going to happen, you know.
Well, I'm not going to do it.
Right. I mean, like that's just it. We're law enforcement, right? You can only enforce the law.
You really need me on your camera?
What's that?
You really need me on your video?
Oh, we've been on it the whole time.
Really?
Yeah.
Great.
Why, you don't like being on camera? Yeah, I've been making a video of this place the whole time for purposes of finding out what would happen if I took pictures of prohibited pictures. So, obviously nothing. So, you have a nice week.
You too.
Enjoy your week. He didn't even know he was on video the whole time I was putting him on. I keep flipping using this phone to go a little undercover on this one, but I keep shutting the camera off in the middle of it, so it's like I cut in 3 spots this video. You guys, you've seen it. I tried to turn myself in. I broke the rule. I took pictures of the documents. I turned myself into the police and nothing happened. I got all sorts of free documents for us, guys. You guys let me know in the comment section what you think, and if you think Terry should take those signs down.
We live in a society now where people want to record how they discipline their child. People that might get mad with this video is the people that probably already embarrassed their child. You can discipline your child in their room. Take something away from them. If they act up, well, I'm like, son, you can't play the game.
Pictures of the documents is strictly prohibited.
I have no knowledge of that.
Well, no, I'm saying the signs are up there. I want to report that I was doing it. You want to check into to see if it's a crime?
It's out in Erie County, fam.
Yeah. Corruption cruiser rolls into town. Our public servants better not clown. Our rights respected, no backing down. Audit them all, Constitution showdown. Turn on the camera, light up the dark. Erie County fam making a mark. Power to the people, don't lose your spark. This dog will bite, not just bark. Cops scatter, they know the name. First Amendment on our side, we got no shame. Document them all, expose their games. Do it for the people, not for the fame. Turn on the camera, light up the dark. Erie County fam making a mark. Power to the people, don't lose your spark. This dog will bite, not just bark. Flexing our rights, a man with a mission. Constitution on our side, never asked for permission. Taking pictures and videos and hey, might just take a piece of public candy. Turn on the camera, light up the dark. Erie County fam making our mark. Power to the people, don't lose your spark. This dog will bite, not just bark. Come the government dogs with their charges and cuffs, barking up the wrong tree, acting so tough. We'll FOIL request the body cams and all their reports. Brittany Penn, Berthy gonna neuter them in court. Turn on the camera, light up the dark. Erie County fam making our mark. Power to the people, don't lose your spark. This dog will bite, not just bark. Forget to like, share, and subscribe, fam. We out.
You pull the Constitution out of your pockets on here. Like that was supposed to prove something.
First Amendment, freedom of the press.
Your name is not Dan Erie County.
This isn't Erie County.
Yeah, sure it is. On here is Dan Erie County.
Legitimate? Maybe. Official? No.